I've got the strength to carry on. This is nothing I ain't dealt with before. I'm a warrior that's ready for war. If I'm alone with a part of a team, I'm ready for it all. I'm used to having my back against the wall. I'm used to handling the pressure of it all. I'm used to it. My mind is my strongest weapon. Strong mind, strong life, yeah, I hear that message. I made it through the negativity, the stress and depression. See, they were blessings that gave me crucial life lessons. Living you learn. Now I don't live by life's challenges, but I don't back down neither, so whatever comes, I'll handle it. Just know I'm harder than the hard times. I'm tougher than the tough times. I'm a warrior in my prime. I'll never back down from a fight. You can see the hunger in my eyes. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. The devil said I can't withstand the storm. I replied, I am the storm. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I would never back down from a fight. You can see the hunger in my eyes. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. The devil said I can't withstand the storm. I replied, I am the storm. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior.
Hey guys, welcome to how to supercharge your content, copy, and marketing message with the power of Neuro Linguistic Programming. Guys, Jason Grossman here. We have myself and our very special main presenter today. Share with you the power of psychology with content, copy, and marketing. Who would like to be able to better understand the psychology of your reader, your audience, avatar, to be able to evoke emotion in them and lead them to action to buy more from you, and you can also help them. Would you guys like that? Yeah, awesome. As we get started, we do have the live on the Zoom. If you're watching on Zoom, comment in the Zoom, say hi, where in the world you are, what kind of business you have. We have the Facebook live stream going as well. I got the Facebook on my phone. I'm looking down at my Facebook live. That's why I'm looking down. If you're on the Facebook live, comment live or replay and introduce yourself, where in the world you are, what kind of business you have as well. We've got Dano here live, Debbie live. Wayne, good morning, brother. Good to see you here. Love the music you start with. Yeah, dude, those songs are actually my shower track. They're my shower track when I'm getting ready for the gym. When I first wake up, jump out of bed, have a cold shower, pre-workout we go. So that's my personal shower track. Who else we got in here? We got Julie Swedberg in the house. Welcome. Craig, welcome. Alexander, good to see you guys here. A lot of the good Queensland crew are here. Could be way better. Julie Thompson's obviously here. Awesome guys. Yep. Who else we got in here? Quick. Oh, what's happening here? Angela, good to see you here. Ashley as well. Barbara in the house. Jer. Hey, Jer, good to see you here. Lenka, Mike, Russ. Hey, brother, good to see you here. Alrighty, Jessica on here as well. And Ray, Grand Risings, my ray of sunshine. Chinta, okay, let's dive in. So we have never, ever done a training like this before, and there's two of us. We're going to approach this in a really unique manner. So no matter how long you've been following me or us, or how many of our trainings you've done, you're all going to learn something new today. Julie's going to learn something new from me, and I'm going to learn something new from Julie. All right, so we're all going to learn today. And it's very simple. If you're listening to me right now, live or replay, I'm guessing you're an online business owner, probably coach, consultant, agency owner, something like that. And you understand that we live in an attempt that the most important or the number one currency online now is attention. There's so much content. There's so many videos. There's so many blogs. There's so many reels. How do we cut through the noise to cut and interrupt, capture their attention, make it engaging, make it relatable? And how do we do that, right? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to approach it from the perspective of I'm going to teach you the science and the art of creating content. The science and the art. So we're going to talk about the logical part of it, which is the science, the structure, the content, the delivery. I'm going to talk about the science of it. So for those that are quite logical, analytical, you're going to love that stuff, right? The how-to stuff. And then I'm also going to talk about the art of it. So if the science is the mind and the logic, then the art is the heart. I like that. The art is the heart, right? And so we're going to talk about the intuitive heart art side of content as well, which I'm actually looking forward to as well. Because it's that intuitive part, the intuitive side. And that's about making it all about others, okay? So I've got two slides, one for each, and we're going to dive straight in. But why do you guys believe, well, you're all here for a reason, obviously. So you must see the value in the content we're about to share with you. And if you stick with us to the end, by the way, if you stick with us to the end, We have an incredible offer, I think, for just for 3 people that's going to blow your minds. To the point where we're kind of going to put a ridiculous deal together and stack it together, Julie and I together. We've never done it. We're kind of going to wing it and just kind of do some ridiculous deal and afterwards be like, what the hell did we just do? I'm pretty sure. So you're going to want to stick around. So today is built around the modality of neuro linguistic programming. Just quick question so we can make this more specific because I want to make sure everybody gets something out of this. Can everyone post on the Facebook Live or in the Zoom chat the number 1, number 2, number 3? So number 1 is you're at least practitioner level certified. So number 1 is you have some kind of certification in NLP. Number 2 is you've dabbled, you've read a few books, you understand a bit about NLP, but you don't have any certifications. Number 3, you have no freaking idea what the heck NLP even stands for, what it is. So number 1, certified in some way, shape, or form. Number 2, dabbled, have basic understanding. Number 3, no freaking idea. And be honest. Okay, Angela certified, Ashley dabbled, Alexander certified, Barbara dabbled, Joe dabbled. Have clients soon. Okay, that's all good, brother. You can catch the replay. Yep. Russ is that 1 and 2 or half? Half? I think it's 1 and 2, right? Okay, okay. All right. Lenka 2. All right, cool, awesome. Because here is the thing: is that I believe that content is I believe that creating content is all about one thing. Who would like to be a greater coach? Would you like to be a better coach? Business, life, fitness coach? Who would like to be able to sell better? Who would like to be able to increase your conversion rates and sell better? And the most important one, because this includes our family and our relationships, who would like to be a better leader? Who wants to be a better leader? All 3 of those things have one thing in common. Do you know what it is? It's about being able to use our language to direct people's thoughts that evoke an emotion and lead them to action. Does that make sense? And we're going to talk about that. And so if you want to be a better coach and give your clients better results, if you want to be a greater leader, better father, better mother, a better lover, even in the bedroom, right? If you want to sell more, it's about understanding how to use it. So I've been obsessed with that for a very freaking long time. When I overdosed on heroin, 3rd time, I was clinically dead for 3 minutes. I spent 3 days on a park bench with a notebook, planning out my life, and I stole a university level psychology book, which I still have in storage. And we're going back 22 years ago. Since then, I've been obsessed with how people can hit rock bottom, turn their life around, and create massive success, right? How can somebody at 13 get raped and miscarries and become a multi-billionaire? Oprah Winfrey, right? These have always fascinated me. And so I went down a deep rabbit hole of studying 21 psychological modalities. I have 21 certifications of different psychological modalities. And do you know, out of all of them, the most powerful one in understanding what we're sharing with you now, my opinion, neuro-linguistic programming. And the reason being is an epistemology. It is a theory of everything. So no matter if I study CBT or RTT, or if I study hypnosis, or if I study any of these, even the tapping ones, even EFT and TFT, which actually have certifications, both those, no matter what modality you use, if you studied NLP at the highest level, you'll know there's NLP in everything because it is a study of everything. Does that make sense? Understanding the mind. So what we're going to share with you today is all based from NLP. I'm going to take it from a foundational, more casual perspective, and then Julie is going to teach it because Julie is an international trainer of neuro-linguistic programming. So both Julie and I are qualified at the highest level to certify coaches. Both Julie and I are qualified to certify you as an NLP coach, internationally recognized. Okay, I was one of the first internationally recognized NLP trainers 16, 17 years ago. In fact, I did my trainer's training when Steve Irwin died. That was when I was doing my, what was that, 2006? Whatever it was, right? So let's dive in. That's enough of pre-framing. So if you want to be able to master the science and art of content, we're going to lay the strong foundation for you. I'm going to try and knock it out in 15 minutes, 15, 20 minutes for myself, pass you over to the amazing, spectacular Julie Thompson for 15, 20 minutes. And then we're going to make you a ridiculous, crazy deal, which, to be honest, Julie and I are probably going to regret being so crazy and offering to you. All right. That's a pretty good pre-framing right there for you NLPs. Quick question as we dive in. Why are you guys here? Like, why is it so important for you to get better at understanding creating content, creating copy? at using your language to direct thoughts, evoke emotion, lead people to action. Why is it so important for you to do that? Why is that so important for you? Mary Dillon in the house, welcome. Joe Hines, welcome. Why is this so important for you? Just post in the chat. Corey, content is authority, 100%. By the way, can you tell I love this shit? I freaking love this shit. I was born for this. I live and breathe this. Understanding how to use my words, my tonality, my physiology to direct your thoughts, evoke emotion, and lead you to action. That should be one of the most important things for all of you to understand, learn, study, master the science and the art. You'll be a better parent. You'll be a better lover. You'll be a better salesperson. You'll be a better entrepreneur. You'll be a better coach. Yeah. You'll be a better human. Well, hopefully. Depends what you use it for, really, doesn't it? Julie, make it unconscious competent so I can really focus on serving. Yeah, 100%. Once you create and form unconscious competence, you can get out of your head because when you're in your head, you're dead. You can be fully present with sensory acuity and data, focusing completely on the person. Yeah, your partner, your child, the prospect, your client, your audience. Yeah. Wayne, continuous improvement. Yeah, obviously Tony Robbins talks about kanai, constant never-ending improvement, coming from the Japanese kaizen. Yep, 100%. Jennifer Harmon, welcome. Yeah. Linkage, grow your business. You're in the right place then, because I believe communication is arguably the most important component. Not just communication with others, but communication with yourself, which again, NLP helped me with. I went through about an 8 or 9 year journey of healing my childhood and teenage trauma, especially my teenage trauma. Oh my God, the shit I did and said and experienced, right? And NLP was, timeline therapy were the most powerful things for me personally. Yeah, awesome. So let's dive in. So here is the thing. So as we dive in, because we live in the third dimension of duality, polarity, up, down, hot, cold, in, out, okay, light, dark. There can be no light without the dark. There can be no pleasure without the pain. Yeah, that's how it is. Right? We live in that third dimension. So there's a science and an art to it. Some of you will be better at the science naturally, some at the art. I think you want to work on both and create a harmony between two. You might also refer to as feminine and masculine energy if you're in the spiritual world and realm. Jared, how you doing? But in a nutshell, the two slides I'm about to share with you come down to one main intention. Understanding the exact language patterns and words I'm speaking, be it on a webinar, be it on a video, short or long form, or written format, copywriting, which we're going to focus more on today because we did mention copywriting in here. So we are going to focus more on written text today. Okay, now the importance of copywriting with written text is missing the most important component of language, which is there's no physiology and there's no tonality. Yeah, it's like if I'm on the phone to you and you can't see me, it's all about tone. So my tone becomes really important. There must be elocution. It must flow in a certain way without sounding like a robot. Yeah. And when you're writing text, your text, the syntax, everything, there is no elocution. There is no tone. There is no physiology. So the syntax, the order of words and how you utilize your words becomes even more important. So I'm going to talk about that. Take a step back for a second. It's very simple. By the end of this call, you're going to have a much better understanding of what to say to lead someone's thoughts so they feel a certain way and take action. So my question to you is, the first thing before you do any piece of content is you need to understand what's your intention. Because energy flows where attention goes is determined by what? People tend to leave the last bit out. People just say energy flows where attention goes. Yes, as determined by intention. Gregory Bateson, 1986. Not Tony Robbins. You got it from Gregory Bateson. Yeah. So you've got to understand your intention. So let's say that let's say I'm doing a blog post, okay? And my intention is I want people to click on my call to action. I want people to comment below for my call to action to download an ebook. Or let's say I'm promoting a webinar and I'm doing a piece of content and I have a call to action. Hey, I've got this live webinar coming up and want more info, comment below, right? So if I'm doing content in the form of copy, blog posts, those content daily, then my intention, what I want to get out of it, is I want them to take action and follow the call to action. Does it make sense, Julie? Julie and Julie? It's two Julies. That's interesting. Yeah. So you've got to go, well, I want them to comment below. Okay, so you've got to take a step back. So whenever creating content, I go, okay, what's the intention? I want them to comment webinar below. It's all about that. So then I backtrack and I go, the second question is, let's move this up, move my Zoom stuff out of the way, is what emotion do I want them to be feeling? What do I want them to feel? Okay, because if I want people to take action, the key is to create urgency. And there's many ways to create urgency. One of the coolest way to create urgency is to get people excited about solving the pain, the problem, or getting what they want, the goal and the dream. And the best way to do that is be excited yourself. And it comes down because you don't have tone, you don't have physiology in your written text. Yeah. That the wording is even more succinct, that it's more congruent, that it's more impactful and emotive. So emotive language is key because you guys know in sales, people make decisions what? Based on emotion and justified logic. People will comment free webinar below, or they'll do the call to action if there is emotion to move away from pain or towards the pleasure. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, I kind of started at the end. I've worked my way back here. I did say start with the end in mind. So I've actually worked back from the bottom up to the here as well. So in the science of creating copy, if we use the context of written text, so long form or short form, let's say a blog post, there is three components to the science. There is the content, the structure, and the delivery. I've started with the intention because, as Stephen Covey says, he wrote about in his 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. You guys written that? One of the habits, I think, is it the first habit? I think it's the first habit is start with the end in mind. If I'm doing a blog post, what do I want them to do? What's the action? So I start here with the action. Okay, for them to take that action, what must they feel? And then in order for them to feel curiosity or feel excitement or to feel belief or to feel certainty, what do I want them to think? Because what I say will direct your thoughts. Does that make sense? So this is what you want to think about whenever creating content. You might be thinking this is too over analytical. Well, no, it's just having a deep understanding. Okay, it's why it's called the science. The art is the juicy, sexy, exciting stuff. The science is, oh my God, it's the chemistry stuff, right? Although physics is pretty cool. I like physics, especially quantum physics, right? Julie, this, not just what I'm giving and the actions I want them to take. Yes, cool. Debbie, emotion. Corinne, good to see you here. Yeah, awesome. So the first thing I'll do is that, let's say I'm going to write a blog post today. You guys know in the program we do 4 pieces of content, okay, each day, and one's a blog post. So with copy, we have short form and long form. With any kind of copy, we have long form video, short form video. We have long form copy written, short form. Short form might be the question, yeah, okay, the clickbait as we call it. I got this thing here. Who wants it? Problem with that is you're missing the emotion, aren't you? Okay. I want them to comment below. How do I evoke emotion? Urgency, excitement, belief, certainty. I've got to trigger pain or pleasure, especially pain, right? So we need to work out what are the words we're going to use to get them to think those thoughts in order for them to feel those feelings and take that action. Now, I'm sure some of you sitting there going, that's great, Jace. How do we do that? Well, that's what the rest of the next 8, 9 minutes is about. Okay? Lenka, how you doing there? Looking very sharp today. Good to see you. So there's 3 components. So when you study neurolinguistic programming, there's 3 certification levels. There's practitioner, master practitioner, and trainer's training. 3 main levels. There's actually a level above that, but trainer's training they call the PhD of neurolinguistic programming, where you get trained on the science and the art of teaching, coaching, training, and platform speaking on stage. Anyone that studied NLP, I was so blessed. You guys, if you've studied NLP, would have heard of the meta programs model. You guys heard of that? The creator of that model is a guy called Dr. Michael Hall in the States. That's who I did my trainer's training with. Him and Dr. Bob Bodenhammer, who co-authored the biggest selling NLP book of all time, The User's Manual for the Brain. That's for your NLPs. Don't know what I'm talking about. That's cool. So I was blessed to have that incredible opportunity and learn from masters, right? And part of the NLP trainers training, you learn that there's always 3 components. Whether I'm writing a blog post, I'm doing a video, I'm doing this webinar, I get on stage and speak, write an entire book, there's always 3 components. There is the content, there is the structure of it, and there's how I deliver it. Does that make sense? That's the science of it, right? It's broken down into 3 components. We're compartmentalizing it. This might be more for you left brain guys and men and so forth. If you're an intuitive empathy, get to the next slide, right? But I'm sharing the whole components of it, right? And it is important because, the science part is important, right? So, okay, once we know our intention, we go, okay, well, I want to promote this webinar coming up. Okay. I want to promote this webinar coming up. Okay. And that's my intention. So I want them to comment below to the call to action. What do I want them to feel? Okay. Maybe I want them to feel pain. Yeah, I want to trigger pain. Okay. What do I need them to think? I need to think about what they don't have. I need them to think about the problems. I need to pour salt in the wound. We're going to talk about how to do that. So, okay, well, what's the content? Okay, the content is the messaging. So all you need to do with the content is very simple, is be like, well, okay, what are my three core message pillars? And if you're in a business coaching program, you've already done this, so it's nice and easy. Somebody mentioned authority before, Corey. Yeah, so the key to creating content is to select three main core message pillars where you make all your content about and you position yourself as an authority figure or expert in each of those. So, for example, if I'm in the fitness world, it'll be fitness, nutrition, and mindset. If I'm in NLP, life coaching, mindset coaching, could be mindset, communication, mindset, communication, and spirituality, or mindset, coaching, and health, or mindset, coaching, and relationships, or something like that, right? If I'm in business or a business coach, it could be sales, marketing, and SOPs, or sales. I don't know what SOPs are, standard operating procedures, systems, right? Once we have those three areas, every piece of content we do is it fits into one of those. Okay. So I'm going to do a webinar. I'm going to do a webinar around mindset as an example. Well, okay, well, that's great. But what is the emotive part of it? What is the problem I'm helping solving? What's the messaging there? So the key is to, okay, once I've worked out my three core message pillars, fitness, nutrition, mindset as an example, okay, I'm going to talk about nutrition. Okay. Then I have subtopics. Okay, I could talk about nutrigenomics, which is a study of how nutrition impacts DNA, which I've studied. We could talk about calories, macronutrients, micronutrients. We could talk about different philosophies like veganism and keto and so forth. We could talk about intermittent fasting. We could talk about different foods and packaging and processed sugars and so forth. There's so many things to talk about. The problem is you guys know too much. That's the problem, right? So you've got to kind of select and compartmentalize to make your life easier. Once you have the content, have you guys ever gone to a presentation and the content was great, but it was boring as all shit? You guys ever, it's like, because the delivery sucked, right? Or maybe the content was great and the delivery was fun, but the structure's way off and you're left going, I don't know, I'm no smarter or better off for leaving. It's like, well, what just happened, right? I'm a bit confused. So content is great for the learning and the messaging. The structure is for understanding and comprehension, and the delivery is for the, I believe, for the entertainment. Okay, so I believe the ultimate goal for the art of copy is edutainment. Edutainment, where you educate people through entertaining them, which we'll talk about, which is the overall. I'm using a lot of multi-orality here, aren't I, Julie? This is how my brain's wired. So with the structure, it's actually my favorite part for you. How to? Where's my how-to guys that are like how to? Give me this. Give me the steps and the recipe. You know, you go to a seminar. I don't need turning on or switching on. I can do that myself. I can turn myself on. Just give me the recipe. Who's that? Who's that? This is for you. So when you first sat down, started listening to me on this call, you had thoughts going through your mind, and you're probably thinking stuff or asking yourself questions. Now, what a guy found out back in the 1960s is that there's four main questions in the frame of or context of learning in any way, shape, or form that we all have. Yeah. So Julie comes on, Julie Swedberg jumps on. In her mind, she's thinking four of main things, right? There's different other frames, but four main frames. One, what the heck is going to happen, or what are we going to talk about, or what? The what? Two, why the heck should I listen, or why should I be here, or why should I apply this content? Three, how's it work? What are the steps? Okay. And four, the what if, what we call Cartesian logic. What's going to happen if I apply this or I don't apply this or so forth? Now, if you look at Russell Brunson's stuff, he's taking the format system and he also added a fifth one, who. If you read his .com secrets and go through it, that's the format system. That's the NLP. He's just added who. Who the heck is this guy? Who is this person? So they're really the factors. So when you're structuring any piece of content, especially the longer the content, okay, the more important. Like if you watch Tony Robbins, like and really take notes, Tony is a master of the format. Tony will spend 1 hour to get one point across because he understands the science and the art, maybe better than anyone alive, right? John C. Maxwell is brilliant at it as well. Marcus Setter, for those that were in World Ventures, was brilliant at it as well. He was brilliant at that because he understands this as well, And then, so we work out our messaging, what's the content, we structure it accordingly. Okay, so, hey, this is what we're going to talk about. This is why you want to listen or apply it. This is how it works. And I'm going to bring it together after I share the art with you. So I'm going to now go through the right brain side of things, the intuitive, the artful, the heartful, and then we'll bring it all together. And by the end of my heart, which I'll wrap up pretty quickly for Julie, it'll all make sense. Yeah. How do you guys feel about that? You guys learning already? Is that useful? Yeah. Because most of you, like Julie Swedberg, when you create content, you create it based on your personality, your style, and model of the world. But you're only going to be naturally relatable to a small portion of people. We all are. So we need to be chameleons and adapt and appeal to all. How do we appeal to, well, not necessarily all, but more, a larger, who would like a larger piece of the pie, a larger audience, that relate with you and resonate with you? Yeah, so like, and I'm not talking about it in the session, I don't know if Julie is, but in NLP we learn about visual, auditory, kinesthetic, gustatory, and olfactory, that we have obviously 5 senses and people learn differently. I'm not sure if Julie's touching that, so I won't. I'm highly visual, so is Julie. But we need to be aware of people that are more kinesthetic in this call, where I'll make it more engaging and talk more about emotions and, emotions, people that are auditory, so forth. Appeal to logic, yeah. So let's talk about, that's the basic science. I want to talk about the art of content. I'm going to try to do this very quickly for you, Julie. I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Let's talk about the art of content and copy. So again, if the science is the logic, the science is the intention, the science is the masculine, the left brain, this is the right brain, this is the heart, the feminine, and so forth. And when I say feminine, I'm not talking about specifically gender, right? If you know what I mean, right? If you're in the spiritual realm. So let's talk about the art. I believe that the purpose of the art of content and copy, is to connect our heart coherence, is to connect our hearts with our audience. How do we connect with them and make it all about them? Because typically the science is about being in our head, structuring it and understanding all that. And the art is about what Julie Swedberg mentioned about is having that unconscious competence around the science so we can get out of it and just be fully present and fully engaged with you. Like I'm watching Julie Thompson sway right now. I'm watching you guys. When you blink, Julie Swedberg blinks. I'm paying attention, even if it doesn't look like it. Julie Thompson will tell you I am obsessed with body language and phenotypical responses, and I just love that stuff. I love to understand people. Right? It can be a little over analytical, but that's just me. That's how I'm wired as well. So the art of content, especially for you empaths, you might resonate with this. So the concept is very simple. It's all about the reader, all about the viewer. Linker, it doesn't matter what you want to call it or what you want to say or what the title of the webinar is or how the banner looks. It doesn't matter. And you might think, well, it does matter. Well, let me ask you a question to all of you. What's more important, what you want to call something or create something, or how your audience perceives it? Who would agree how your audience perceives it? So the art of content and copy is making it not about you or your ego or what you want, but all about your audience. Yeah. So yeah, 100%. So how do we do that? Okay, well, let's look at copy itself. I'm going to go through this pretty quickly so I can pass you over to Julie. So let's say I'm creating copy. Okay. When people don't have enough time, I'm just going to show you. But most people are going to find your copy how? 80 to 90% of people that see your content, how are they going to see it? Scrolling the newsfeed. Most people are going to see it scrolling the newsfeed, right? So you've got to, in your mind, be aware of how that's going to look. So people are going to scroll, they see the title. If it's video, you have 3 seconds to pattern interrupt, 8 seconds to connect, right? If it's blog post, first liner. First line must be, must engage them. So the person, like how many questions have I asked you guys where you've had to go transliteration, search, think, and then your emote? And I've made this fairly interactive, as interactive as you can. Would you guys agree? If you're engaged, you're going to pay attention and you're going to stay to the end, right? And then you're going to buy all that stuff, aren't you? Yeah. Julie Swedberg, I was looking at you then because that was actually for you because I don't know why it's funny. All jokes aside, though, so it's the difference between guru-centric and client-centric. Guru-centric's, hey, me and my Lambo, check this bad boy out. Client-centric is, check out Tom. Tom just lost 50 kilos. Tom and his wife, this, yeah, who would rather do? Who thinks that's a more powerful approach? Isn't that why we all do what we do to help people? I'm not being paid to be here right now. It makes no difference to me. Offer today, I'm not going to make the offer we're making today is for Julie. It's to help you guys out. I want to see you guys win. And I truly believe that becoming certified in NLP is one of the greatest things any of you guys can do. Believe that. I'm a walking, talking billboard for that. I'm an example of that, if you will. So the content must be me too. So one of two things: your headlines need to be a question that direct their thoughts, evoke an emotion. So then when they go to the body, we can lead them to action. Okay, so we capture their attention with a question. The body has the structure, the format system, and so forth. In that, we use our text to evoke emotion. Then we have the call to action to lead them to action. So the headline is the thoughts. The body is the emotions, the feelings. The call to action is the action. Make sense? That's the delivery we're talking about. This is what's going to make sense, right? Way better hooks, yeah. So the question needs to be a question that not ideally just, I mean, you can get away with a question where they just think, but if it's a question that is based on pleasure or pain, then it's going to evoke emotion and they're probably going to keep reading, right? So if it's not a question, and Julie Swedberg does this a lot, I'm picking on Julie because you're right there in my view there. So both Julies actually, you're both there. You can use a statement. So the headline needs to be a hook. That's a question that gets my mind engaged. Yes, that's me. No, that's me. I would like that. Oh, I don't want that. Or a me too statement. So it can be a statement like, oh, that's me. Are you an online coach that's struggling and sick and tired of being broke? I'm a coach. I'm sick and tired of being. It could be something simple like that, right? And the key is pain and pleasure. So when you study neuro linguistic programming and you do master practitioner, yeah, you'll learn about meta programs. I believe it's master practitioner. And one of them is everything we do is to move towards pleasure or pain. That's why I believe one of the most important things of the art of your content is every piece of content you're doing is to, one, help them solve a problem, or two, help them get what they want. You're going to trigger people more based on pain. So I start with the pain, even if I'm going to offer pleasure, and I pour salt in that wound. Don't be afraid to trigger people. Don't be afraid to trigger people. Trigger people. Doesn't trigger you, doesn't change you. Be okay with triggering people because, like those in the fitness industry, how many times, Julie, have we sat in the console and people have cried in the console because they realize they're fat and they don't like it and they're tired and they've let themselves go and we put a mirror up to their face and oh shit, you're right. What am I doing? To trigger people, okay? Also create curiosity. Curiosity is a great way to do that as well. And again, the power of questions. I'm going to wrap this up. A big one from this as well is to remember that facts tell, but stories sell. So if we're talking about written copy, the headline or what I call the hook needs to be one, a question that I ideally evokes emotion based on pain, preferably. Or number two, it needs to be a statement that's a, oh, me too statement. Because then, boom, okay? And if it's a me too statement that's linked to values, which actually is meant to be on here, if the me too statement is linked to the most important thing in my life, say family, oh, me too. Oh, that's really important to me. I'll keep reading, right? Then the body, okay, stories. Stories. Facts tell, stories sell. It's like when we sell, what do they say in sales? We sell benefits, not features. Okay. If your written copy is about features, people are going to get bored, doesn't evoke emotion, yeah, and so forth. So it also needs to be relatable and relevant. So spend some time doing some research. Pay attention to what's trending online. What's trending on Facebook before you post on Facebook? What's trending on Twitter before you post on Twitter? And learn your audience and get feedback from them and review them and work out what they want and what triggers them and what they need. Pay attention to them and then give them what they need. Well, give them what they want, sell them what they want, then give them what they need. So don't give them what they need in your copy, give them what they want. I've fast-tracked that because I've gone over time. But is that useful, guys? That's the art of creating content. Yeah. Everyone learn? Everyone glad to hear? I love this. Could do with more market research. Oh, we all could. I could definitely do it. I need to hire someone for market research. I was watching Gary Vee the other day about, he's got an entire team on it. He's got an entire team. They get together every day just for what's trending, market research, and that's how he works. He does all his content based on that. What's trending, what's hot, what's relevant. All his content, Gary Vee. Yeah. Debbie, Yes, Carl Buckley. Lenka is the queen of market research. Oh, we all need Lenka. Oh, Lenka just got book solid. Awesome. Yeah, I can see how she'd be good at that. I've taken enough of your time. Quick question as I pass you over. I would love to hear from you. Talk about research. What was the biggest takeaway from you? What was the one-liner, the aha moment, the little thing, the nuance that I just shared with you that you're going to apply, you believe will be really impactful for you? If you can share that in the chat right now on Zoom or Facebook. And as you share that, I'm just going to introduce you to my very good friend, my sister from another mister. We've known each other for about 8 years. Came to me about 8 years ago. I coached her to build her bootcamp business face to face to six figures, launched her online fitness business, built that to six figures, encouraged her to become NLP certified. Now, she is not only a qualified life coach, an international business coach working as one of our personal business coaches in quantum, but also as an international trainer of neuro linguistic programming who certifies people in coaching, neuro linguistic programming, and timeline therapy, can certify people in three. And Julie is going to now go get to the more specifics of NLP. Thank you, Julie Thompson in the house. Are you there, my sister? You're just on mute.
I was on mute. It's not my first rodeo either. Thank you for being here and joining us today. Thank you so much. Jason did definitely touch on a few gold nuggets, and I'm going to just, run through the content very quickly because I absolutely value all of your time. So I'm going to actually share some slides with you to really, because I'm a highly visual person, just like Jason, and so I want to help you gain some deeper insights. So please are you able to see my screen? Yep, amazing. Alrighty. So how do we supercharge our content using NLP? A couple of quick things. I've got 6 slides that I am going to share with you. The first thing, and this is the most important piece, is you first must understand your client's mind. You have to understand how their unconscious mind actually works in order to be able to connect with them. So you need to understand, what is your client thinking and feeling, and how do they make decisions? So if you don't know what your client is thinking or how their mind makes decisions, then you're just going to totally miss the mark each time. So I'm going to dive into that for you. The next one is, how do you speak to their emotional state? Because every behavior or decision or action that your client takes is based on their emotional state. So it's important that you must speak to your client in such a way that impacts them emotionally. And so something that Jason started off with, he asked 3 questions. He said who he wants to become a better coach, who wants to become a better leader, and who wants to become a better parent. And so what the technique that he was actually using there is towards motivation. So he was driving you towards something that you wanted. And, if he had changed the language around that, he might have said, who here wants to stop missing their clients, who wants to no longer not connect with their clients. So he's either moving you towards pleasure or away from pain, so bringing you towards what you want. The next part I'll cover with you is, how do you optimize your decision-making strategy? Now, every single person on the planet has a very unique way that they make a decision. Once you understand that, you're going to have an 80 to 90% success rate on your conversions. Who would like that? Who wants to increase your conversion rate, right? Yeah, so understanding making strategy and how do they make decisions. And I'll also teach you how to flex your communication style. So how do you actually use stronger foundational dialogue that speaks on all the communication types? I'm somebody who's naturally highly visual, and highly visual people get super excited and they just want to, they think that you can see what they're talking about. But I had to learn very quickly that some of our clients are highly AD, which means they're facts and figures and information based. And so I had to flex my communication style and adapt so I could speak to a larger audience. I'll also teach you the secrets of language, and how do you impact directly to your client's thought process, their emotions, their decision-making strategy. And we touch briefly on it. How do you align with their values? How do you actually touch base on their values? Because values are not what we like, but what's most important to us. So if you're speaking directly to your client's values, they are much more likely to make a decision to buy from you. So understanding your client's values and what's important to them is super, super helpful. And how to operate from a place of alignment and sustain your success with your content. Let's dive in. I'm going to share my next screen with you. First of all, understanding your client's mind. So this visual image that I'm giving you, this is what we call the NLP model of communication. So as we know, there's millions of bits of information out there all happening. Now, your client, all of us as individuals, we have what's called our filters, which actually delete, distort, and generalize the things that we see, the things that we hear, and what we're actually feeling. And so they're based on our beliefs and our values and our language and our attitudes and our decisions. So whatever's happening for your individual client, their unconscious mind is going to delete all that 30 million bits of information and only able to take about 128 chunks per second of that information. And so if you're not speaking directly to their values, or you know, your language is not touching on their particular pain points that are going on inside their mind, then they're not even going to hear your message, and you're going to completely miss the mark. So we want to, that's the bit that we want to be speaking to, is your message and your content must be speaking to your clients directly in their unconscious mind. Does that make sense? Who here's ever spoken to somebody before, or you've had an idea that you wanted to buy something, you've walked into a store, you wanted to buy, you already knew what you wanted to buy, and the actual salesperson has just put you off. They completely speak a different language, they don't connect with you, you walked out of the shop. Who's done that before? Right? And that's just because they don't understand how you're wired on the inside. So understanding how your clients think is going to help you considerably. So how do you connect to their emotional state? So you want to understand, what is their internal dialogue? What's their language? What's the words that they are telling themselves? So they might be saying to themselves, I'm fat, I'm tired, I wish I had more money. They might be saying, I wish I was a stronger man. I wish I was more in my masculine energy. So they're the things that they're going to be thinking. That's going to be their attitudes and the beliefs that's running on autopilot in the back of their mind. And so how do you understand their internal dialogue? That's what you've got to think of. And I'm going to give you guys an example of a copy piece shortly of how do you actually speak to that in your content, in your copywriting. And understanding their values. Now, if you were in our business coaching program, you've probably heard Jason mention a couple of times, for those of you who are parents, that you can either use your children as a reason why you can't or a reason why you must. Who's heard that before? If you're in the coaching program, you've probably heard that a couple of times. And the reason why is because that's directly related to somebody's values. For those of you who are parents, it's quite possible that your children and your family are in your top 3 values. So he's linking your highest value to the reason why you should be fast tracking your business and your success. Then you want to be speaking to their focus. So you want to be directing their focus. So they're going to be either, thinking in the positive or the negative. They're going to be thinking I can or I can't. They're going to be focused on their problem or the solution. They're going to be focused on pleasure or pain. So your content and your marketing needs to speak to those things. It needs to speak to the towards or away from. So towards pleasure or away from pain. You need to be talking about their problem or offering a solution. Does that make sense? So your content should always be talking to, where do you want to direct their focus specifically? Are you speaking to their pain points, or are you speaking to future pace them towards what they want? Then we've got what's called awareness. And this is where we only are able to obtain information through our 5 senses. So that's our visual, our auditory, our kinesthetic, which is our feelings, and then our thoughts, which is information. So that's what do we think? What do we understand? What are we actually processing on an information base? So how does your content or copy, how is it speaking to their level of awareness? So as you're speaking to them, I'm somebody who's so highly visual. So if I'm reading somebody's content or copy, as I'm reading it, I'm painting the picture in my mind of what I'm assuming it's going to be. Does that make sense? Because I'm so highly visual. For somebody who's highly AD, they're going to be reading your content and they are going to be thinking, well, what's this going to do for me? How is this going to solve my problem? Is this answering my question? Does that make sense? And if it's somebody who's kinesthetic, they are going to read your copy and they're going to tune into, how does it make them feel? And I was doing a group business coaching last night with a group of people, and we were going through people's pitch decks. And one of the ladies said, I just want to know how it's going to make me feel. If you don't tell me how it's going to make me feel, you're probably going to lose my sale, because I want to know how it's going to make me feel. And so this is where we want to make sure that your copy is speaking to all of these things. And then we want to evoke their state. So their energy, their intensity, their passion. What are they actually feeling? And how does your copy speak to them in that state? So what state are you putting them in? Because it's their state that's going to cause them to make a decision. Does that make sense? So what happens is we absorb the information, it goes through the filters, it talks to us, it evokes a particular type of attitude and a belief and a value. So it's got to connect with that first, and then it's got to direct our focus either towards what we want or away from what our problem is. And then it's got to connect some way on our awareness, like, can I see how this is going to help me? And then if yes, if I feel good about it and I can see how it will work for me, then it's going to change my emotional state, and then I'm going to make a decision to take action. Does that make sense? So you want to communicate to your client's unconscious emotional state. So you really, when you're doing any form of copy or any form of interaction with a person, you need to be able to connect to what's going on for them internally. So you're always working directly with their unconscious mind. Now, to optimize their decision-making strategy, we spoke about this briefly. Jason mentioned this: the why, the what, the how, the what if. Now, this is the format system, and I'll tell you why this is so important. Because the why, if you don't answer the why are they there, or why should they come, or why should they listen to you, once you've answered that question for them, that's where you're actually getting past the critical faculty in their mind. Now, if you don't answer that why for them at the unconscious level, then 25% of people are just not even going to listen to you. Does that make sense? Because they are going to be wondering, why am I even listening to you? Why am I even reading this? So I see something often that a lot of coaches do is they go live on Facebook and they don't even put a title of what their video is about. So they've totally lost me because I'm just not even interested. I'm like, well, why should I watch you? I don't even know what I'm in for yet. So why should I listen? You haven't answered that question, therefore you've totally lost me. So you need to answer why we are here. So Jason asked you 3 questions. He said, who wants to become a better coach? And everyone sort of said, yeah. Who wants to be a better leader? Yeah. Who wants to become a better parent? Yeah. Who wants better copy? Yeah. So you guys have already said yes in your mind to like, yeah, well, that's why I'm here, is because I want that. So you've got to get past that why. Now, the what is what you're delivering. Now, I don't have an example of the copy, but I was reading somebody's content piece last night, and they were promoting their webinar event. And as I read through the copy, they didn't even tell me what it was about or what they were going to deliver. They basically told me who it was for and when it was, but they totally missed the bit of what was going to be delivered, or what it was about. So they're missing big chunks of information in their copy. Now, the how is it going to be delivered? So if you're doing a webinar and you want people to attend the webinar, they want to know, when is it? How long does it go for? Is it online? Is it virtual? What time of day it is? That's the how, or how it's going to be delivered. So for the AD people who are information-based, they really want to know the how to, or how do they do it? And then the if, this is like a what if, and this is really important for those of you who want to get the sale. The what if part is, what if I don't take action now? What if I don't buy from this person? What's that going to do to me? How's my future going to look if I don't take action now? So this is where the calls to action and taking them down. And I've seen a lot of coaches do this when they're first starting, is they totally miss the call to action and directing their client. They give this great piece of content and then forget to tell them, well, what if you actually are ready to take action now? They forget to do the pitch on the end. So it's really important to understand your strategy. So what if they want to know more? How can they get in contact with you? What if you haven't answered their questions? How do they get there? So in their unconscious mind, now this decision-making strategy on the bottom of this slide, this is different for everybody, by the way. So before we make a decision, we all have a unique strategy. So the strategy might be, first I need to see it, then hear particular keywords, then I need to feel it, and then I can see how I can apply it in my future, and then I make the decision to buy. Does that make sense? So this is, and we all have a slightly different strategy. Some people might be visual, kinesthetic, buy, or some people might be AD, kinesthetic, and then decide to buy. So you want to understand about how do they make decisions. And the format system, the what, the why, the how, and the what if is a really important piece of that puzzle. And then making sure you're hitting those other communication points. So visual, AD stands for information-based people. K is for kinesthetic, that's the people who are feelings-based. And V is obviously visual. And then we've got A, which is auditory. Yeah. So this AD, this would be more their internal voice. So what are they saying to themselves when they're reading your content. So effective communication. So this is a bit of insight for you. 43% of the population are very highly visual. So if I'm a highly visual person, as you're trying to share your content or your copy with me, I want to see something. So I get very bored with long form copy if I can't visualize it, if that makes sense. So now AD people like long form copy. So it's good to have variety in the way you deliver your content. But 43% of your people are visual like me. I'm going to go, can you show me something, or can you send me something? Because I want to take a look at it. 30% of people are auditory. And so what that means is they're probably going to want to, like listen to testimonials or read testimonials so they can see they can hear keywords that other people are talking about your program. So this is why it's important to do case studies and share those as your content pieces as well. Kinesthetic, 5% of the population are very kinesthetic. So if you don't connect on how it's going to make them feel, you'll probably lose them. And 22% are highly AD. So they're the people that want to know a fact or a data or a figure, or they might have a few extra questions, or they want to do some extra research. So making sure your content or copy shares something like that in there is going to be super helpful. Yep. So when we talk about NLP, there's so many different tools and techniques we use when it comes to the magic of language. So language is a huge portion of what Neuro Linguistic Programming actually is, and it directs the mind. So we want to utilize all the rep systems, which is the visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, and gustatory. So tailoring your copy so it resonates with a diverse audience. Remember, you want to speak to everybody and not leave people out. You want to build rapport and connection with your audience. So establish connection with your audience by reflecting their language patterns, their tone, their pace. Your copywriting should create a sense of familiarity and rapport. So when you're speaking directly to your audience, I highly recommend this. When you're sharing content with your audience, you may have 2 or 3 different types of avatars. When you're sharing a piece of content, speak directly to that one particular avatar that day, because you're going to connect directly with them. Does that make sense? You're going to speak that person's language and build rapport, connection. You're going to help them feel like you actually understand them. And then we've got anchoring, which is a huge technique, and you can use anchoring in your text as well. So the concept of anchoring is when you link a specific emotional state with a particular stimulus. So you could use the positive associations with your product or your service by using specific language cues. So you might talk about empowerment or confidence or ego, or you might talk about clarity. So those particular keywords are going to evoke a particular state in your client. Crafting compelling stories. So our human brain is wired to respond to stories and metaphors. So engage your audience on a deeper level by incorporating some narratives that are going to resonate with their experiences and their emotions. And I'm going to give you an example of a piece of copy just shortly. And I can't stress enough the power of embedded commands. So embedded commands is evoking a particular type of state in your audience as well. So you're going to help them feel something. And Jason mentioned it perfectly, is we can't use tonality in written copy, but you can certainly weave it into your written copy. And I'll show you that on an example. And framing and future pacing is huge as well. So when you're using pacing, you want to pace their current experience and lead them to a future desired outcome. So you want to understand where are they now and where do they want to be. And so you want to pace their current experience, and then take them to where do they want to go instead. So framing your message in positive light and providing a vision for their future. And Jason does this perfectly, by the way, when he's running our Zoom calls. Who's heard Jason says, who wants more money for your family this Christmas? Right? So he's future pacing you to the things that you want. Right? So I'll give you an example piece of copy, and you guys can take a screenshot if you like. So I'm going to show you here. And when I read this out to you, I want you to just type in the chat box who you think this is for, or who's it from and who's it for. So visionary men, are you ready to own your destiny? Are you ready to shatter the chains holding you back? It's time to command your life and forge your path. Join me for a free training that's meticulously crafted for those who are committed to their evolution. It's not just another event. This is an invitation to unearth the warrior within. We will deep dive into mastering your mindset, silence the doubts and the fears that are holding you back, cultivate an unbreakable confidence, build resilience, navigate life's challenges with strength and grace, and turn obstacles into gateways for growth. Embrace your authentic self, break free from societal expectations, embrace the raw essence of your masculinity, gain tactical tools for personal and professional ascension, connect with visionaries and share an odyssey of self-discovery, and receive exclusive insights from a seasoned maestro of masculine empowerment. Where is it? It's online. Transform from the comfort of your throne. Ready to command your destiny, secure your spot, and let's unleash the dormant potential within. Remember, the journey begins with a choice. Make yours now. Who thinks that that's pretty powerful copy? Right? Now, I've highlighted particular words in there just for you to recognize which ones are the embedded commands. Now, I wouldn't type it in that way because I want it to be unconscious to the reader. So I wouldn't highlight and put them in bold letters, but those are particular words. So when I mention those words, own, command, commit, unbreakable, strength, grace, transform, unleash, and choice, who would agree that they are very masculine words and they evoke that masculine energy, right? Who would agree? So they are very masculine words that I've embedded there because this is specifically for men. Now, I want to show you what else is in here is where I've said it's time and choice. That's a time-based embedded command. So it's time, that's taking them to make a decision now. That's an embedded call to action. And so is the journey begins with a choice. That's also an embedded command to them to take action. Now, you'll also notice I'm speaking to their unconscious mind. So here where I've said silence the doubts, break free from societal expectations, I'm speaking to where they are now. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm speaking to what's going on for them unconsciously. What are they feeling right now? They are feeling like they're silencing their doubts. They're feeling like they can't speak out. They're feeling like they're chained down by societal expectations. And then for the people who want the trust and the AD people, here I've gone receive exclusive insights from a seasoned maestro. So this is then connecting to the people who are like, okay, well, I can trust this person because there's going to be an expert, there's going to be exclusivity. So the words invitation and exclusive, they are speaking directly to that person's unconscious mind. So who feels like that's a powerful piece of content, and who can see how the embedded commands work in there? So you want to sprinkle them throughout, but you're actually connecting to a particular part of their brain and you're speaking to their unconscious mind. All right. Was that helpful, by the way? Yeah, fantastic. All right. It's like human coding. Yeah, words are everything. Words evoke a particular emotion in people. Yeah. And yeah. Who here would love to learn more about NLP, by the way? This is literally just a very brief taste of the power of language. When we go into master practitioner training, we understand advanced quantum linguistics. Who would love to know advanced quantum linguistics? There's certain people on the planet in high up places, in politics, some of them, and there's professional linguists that actually write speeches for people that are in high up places. And it's designed to create open loops in a person's unconscious mind, direct their attention and focus in certain ways, and to evoke emotions. So for those who are interested in learning more, we do offer, as Jason mentioned, world-class training and certification. We offer international certification in NLP. I'll give you a quick overview of what our courses are entailed. So we do live interactive trainings. So you're on there live with myself, coaches from around the world. It's a triple certification program. So we offer practitioner training in Neuro Linguistic Programming, practitioner training in timeline therapy, which is a super powerful technique, and also in coaching itself as well. So it's real-time coaching practice. In our trainings, you actually get live training and assessment as a coach and as a client. So you get to have your own mini breakthrough whilst you're going through the program as well. You also receive hard copy manuals, everything that you need, additional audio study material as well, so you can listen while you're doing your work, access to full recording, so you've got lifetime access to it, all of our templates that we use, and lifetime access to our coaching community as well. And we offer additional bonuses. So you get 1 month of free one-on-one coaching with myself personally after the training to help you actually integrate what you've learned and how do you weave that specifically into where you're going in your business. We also give you a free NLP ebook specifically for coaches, and you get free access to our inner circle coaching cohort as well with all of our other NLP practitioners from around the world. So I know that Jason said that we're going to do something crazy. So I'm gonna let Jason take over the next part. He's probably going to shock us all, but bring it, take it away, Jason. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen.
Oh, no, keep the sharing going. Keep the sharing going. Keep that up.
Okay.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
no, keep that up. Thank you. Hey guys, how good was that? How good is Julie? Now, obviously, Julie and I talked really quick today, probably even faster than we normally do, because one, we love what we do and we're excited. Two, we did talk probably faster than even normal because we want to squeeze in as much value as possible. So if you're seeing us the first time going, holy shit, these guys talk fast, that's we do normally, but today probably more than normal for that reason. So maybe we're a little over ambitious with our time and what we're doing, but it was cool. It was fun. Everybody enjoy that? Yeah. Who's glad you came? Yeah. So, Julie and I were speaking. We have our next course. The next NLP practitioner certification course is launching in February. What date in February is it? Is it the 9th? Monday? What's the date?
I think it's the 6th of February. It's Monday.
Monday, the 6th of February is the next course. And it's normally, is it 3,995 up front?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So what we'd like to do is, for those that are not yet certified, now here's the thing. I've actually done certification 4 times with 4 different people. I think Julie has too. I've done master practitioner 3 times with 3 different people and trainers once, because everybody is a little bit different and you learn more every time, and repetition is another of all skill. Yeah. Have you ever read a book multiple times and every time you got something new? Or have you ever watched a movie? What's like Walk the Line 23 times? Johnny Cash, I love Johnny Cash, right? Every time I pick up something new. Infinity War, the Marvel movie, I've watched over 100 times. Yeah, don't get me started. Every time I pick up something new. So even if you've done this before, we're launching the next practitioner course, obviously in February 6th, and we want to make you a deal. So the first 3 people to private message Julie or I, what we're going to do the certification, you don't just get the NLP certification, you also get the coaching certification. So if you want to be, this will actually qualify you as a life coach if you want to add that. This is why Julie and I are qualified business coaches, life coaches, and fitness coaches. Yeah, I actually have over 50 certifications. I'm obsessed with certifications because formal training is the best way to become a master at something. Too many people are trying to wing shit out there and wonder why they're struggling, right? And so you get a timeline therapy. So you get a therapy edition, which you can add as an upsell. So if you're in the mind coaching, life coaching, spiritual, any kind of those realms, you can actually add it as an upsell and add another service. You can add life coaching, you can add these things as an extra service. You can be a better coach, better salesperson, better leader as well. So I think it's 3,995. Is that the normal price? So what we're going to do is we're going to offer not one, but 2 add-ons. The first 3 people that I have a private message, Julie or I, to do the practitioner, only 3 people. We're going to, first of all, okay, we're going to give you a second seat for a friend, partner, business partner, client to join for free. For free. So you get 2 tickets for the price of 1. So first of all, the first 3 people to private message me or Julie right now, I am in for the practitioner in March. We'll give you a free ticket. Number 2, second added bonus. We're just making shit up as we go here. So most of you guys know that we do a group business coaching program. So in February, the week after the course, we're launching our next cohort where we work with just 25 to 30 people and we show you how to build to 20,000 plus months consistently as a coach, consultant, or agency owner. So what we're really looking for is we're looking for people that want to become certified or recertified, do the course, and then the following week, now you have these certifications and have this knowledge and these tools and skills. Now I'll help you take all of that, put it into your business, build your business, and build your coaching consulting agency business to 20,000. So I'm also going to throw in, now that's the same price. It's actually the same price. The NLP and the coaching, group coaching are the same. It's 3,995. So you're going to get not 1, not 2, but 3 seats right now, which is normally 10 grand for 3,995. Okay, the first 3 people to DM Julie or I, I'm in for practitioner. You can invite a friend, certification for free, and join the group coaching. The group coaching program is an hour every week with me or one of our coaches, including Julie. Okay, and we take you through the sales, the marketing. We set up all of your business from scratch, attraction marketing, pitch decks, sales SOPs, and more. We actually have a mindset section as well. Okay, the first 3 people to private message me right now. And if you're looking at this going, I don't have 3,995 right now, we do have a payment plan. We do have a payment plan. What's the payment plan? I just want to make sure I get this right. We do payment plan. Let me just make sure I get this right. Blah, blah, blah. Three. I'm doing math. Can you hear my brain? Yeah, so it's 20 payments of 199 per week. So if you have 3995, one of the first three people to DM me, you get 2 seats to NLP, 1 seat to the full 16-week group coaching program, me and Julie personally, and we can give you a payment plan. So just quickly be one of the first three people to DM us right now. Let us know if you want to pay up front and get it out of the way and it's all covered, all 3 seats covered, or this is a one-time offer as well. This will only be available for first three people to DM us. Or if money's a bit tight, but you really want to do this, it's only $199 per week. For $199 a week for 20 weeks, you can get 2 seats to certify in 3 areas for 2 people for NLP and the full 16-week live group coaching program. We get the online portal and everything. It's valued over 20 grand. We normally charge 10 grand. Okay, that's why I said it's crazy. It's a ridiculous deal. It's a one-time offer. We're just kind of making it up on the spot. But if you're thinking about it in any way, shape, or form, just message Julie or I right now. The first three people to DM us will get this ridiculous deal. You can do upfront or payment plan, 2 seats to NLP, you and a business partner, or bring your lover. Bring your lover along to NLP. Get them certified. Babe, I got you this thing. Okay. Business partner, could be a client, could be whoever. And then you can also join the group coaching. Now, if you are already in a group coaching program, then you can redo it again for free. Okay, as well. So act fast. First three people to DM Julie or I right now. I'm in. I want to pay up front $3995 or do the payment plan $199 a week times 20. We'll get you sorted. You'll get access to everything today. You'll get access to the online portal for group coaching today if you're not already a client. You'll get access to the pre-study. I don't know if it's today or immediately. You can get access and you can begin the journey today. You don't have to wait for the courses and get that going. So whatever you do decide, look, it makes no difference to Julie and I. All I know is nothing changes, nothing changes. You do for the next 6 months what you did the last 6 months, what's your life going to look like in 6 months from now? Who wants to have the greatest year in 2024? How would you feel if in 6 months you're exactly where you are right now? In your relationships, in your business, in your finances, same amount of clients. What we're giving you access here for the price is people out there charging 30, 40 grand for. It's 4 grand. Are you shitting me? And if you don't have 4 grand or $199 a week, let's be honest, a fucking problem. Yeah. This is the solution. So if not this, then what? If not now, then when? And again, it's not going to make any difference to Julie and I. 3 people probably already DM'd us. But even if you think, oh, I'm too late, I missed out, just DM us anyway. Sure, we can work something out. Okay, but it is only available the first 3 people to DM us right now. If you're thinking about it in any way, shape, or form, do yourself a favor, take a leap of faith. We will work with you closely to align your psychology for success, set up all the systems of marketing sales you need for success. Our goal and mission is to make sure you have the best year in your life in 2024. That's our goal. So I hope that you commit to yourself. Doesn't make any difference to us. We're going to book it solid no matter what. Have an amazing day, Julie. Thank you so much. Love you. Appreciate your sister. Everybody else, I'm late for my team meeting. Speak to everybody soon. DM Julie right now. If you have any questions, DM Julie, not me. Send Julie a DM if you have any questions. And I'll speak to everyone soon. Love you and appreciate you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.